Unit 9, Raising Finance, Track 2.
And what are the disadvantages of the different ways of raising finance?
For shares, equity carries a fairly significant capital cost. People who invest in shares expect a return that reflects the risk that they're taking. Shareholders obviously carry the full business risk and don't have a right to be repaid their money. They can receive dividends over time, but only after the company has covered its costs and other liabilities such as interest on the debt. For debt, the disadvantages are that obviously the interest burden on debt is required to be paid over time. That reduces the amount of cash that a company has that would otherwise be available for it to use for investment purposes. There's also advantages and disadvantages in the public versus private markets. The public markets, while they give you a broader amount of capital available, they don't create that type of private relationship that you would get in the private markets. You could have a dispersed shareholder base. In the public debt markets, you could end up with effectively bondholders of whom you don't know their identity, whereas in the private markets, you very closely know who your lender is or who your shareholder is. For the private markets, the disadvantages are potentially a lack of capital available if you're a significant business. In addition to that, private markets will tend on the equity side to want a significant return and some significant change to shareholder control features, to the extent that you will lose a certain amount of control over who your executive management is and how that management effectively runs the business.